name is Faye Rudkin, and I just received this beautiful new book about hearing loss. And guess what? I have hearing loss myself. I'm missing about 85% of my hearing in both ears, so I'm really excited to read this book with you. It is called Papadillo, written by Valerie Abbott. Here we go. I thought I knew everything about my little sister, Bridget. After all, she's little. I knew her favorite song. I knew her best friend's name. I even knew how much she hated broccoli. But there were things I didn't know about her. Like why she did weird things. She never answered the door when the doorbell rang. She didn't notice when her phone would ring. And she always made me repeat myself. That was annoying. Sometimes she just ignored me. That made me mad. But then there was the strangest thing of all. One day, Bridget and I were playing on our favorite tree. Look, she said, a Papadillo. I looked around and I didn't see anything. What are you talking about? I asked. What is a Papadillo? She pointed to a branch on the tree, and I still didn't see a Papadillo. Bridget moved closer, and she pointed at a chubby green creature the size of her finger. Papadillo, she said again. I rolled my eyes. That is not a Papadillo. Eventually, my parents caught on to her weird behavior, and so we waved. I don't know when they noticed, but once they did, they couldn't stop talking about it. Suddenly, Dad was on his phone all the time. Mom was always on the computer, and they started to talk to people about the same things I had seen. What do you think it could be? Asked Grandma. We're not sure, said Dad. One day, my parents took my sister to see a special doctor. It wasn't a regular doctor. It was a new one. No kids in the waiting room either. Mostly grown-ups and grandparents. Dad? I said. Yes, honey, Dad replied. Are these people sick? No, honey, Dad answered. Is Bridget sick? I asked. No, honey, I don't think she's sick, Dad answered. Then what are we doing here? I asked. Just then, a nurse called us in the doctor's office. Mom held Bridget's hand. She could never follow directions anyway. The doctor asked my parents a lot of questions, too many questions. He looked into my sister's ear. You don't have any ladybugs in there, do you? The doctor joked. Ladybugs? I think I know what might be going on, he said. I'd like to have you meet Dr. Anna. She's an audiologist. What's that? I asked. An audiologist is someone who tests hearing and who helps people who may not hear well, the doctor told us. Dr. Anna asked Bridget if she would like to play a game. This game wasn't the fun kind that we have at home or school. It was a listening game. Bridget wanted to play, but it looked pretty boring to me. Bridget sat on Mom's lap in a little metal room with a window and toys inside. I watched as Dr. Anna placed long tubes into Bridget's ears. Hey, are you hurting her? I asked. No, these are soft rubber tubes. They don't hurt. They're like headphones, Dr. Anna explained. Dr. Anna came out and closed the door to the little metal room. She sat in a chair near the window and waved. She spoke to Bridget through a microphone. Listen for the beep, she said. I slumped back in my chair. This is gonna take forever, I grumbled. When the game was over, Dr. Anna sat down with me and my parents. The inside of Bridget's ears don't look like yours and mine. The tests show that she needs something louder to make the sounds louder and clearer, to help her hear better. Bridget needs hearing aids. What? I shouted. What are you talking about? She doesn't need hearing aids. My little sister can hear just fine. Dad wraps his arm around me and Mom looks sad. No, she doesn't hear like you and me, Dr. Anna said. Bridget can hear some things, but she can't hear other important sounds. I know it may be hard to believe, but it's true. Then she showed us a hearing aid and explained different parts. The microphone picks up sound. Inside, the amplifier makes the sound louder. The speaker sends the louder sounds into the ear canal through a small tube and an ear mold which fits inside Bridget's ear. The battery provides power to the hearing aid. Next, Dr. Anna squirted this blue goo inside my sister's ears and said, this blue stuff will harden into the shape of Bridget's ear canal so her hearing aids will fit perfectly. Bridget closed her eyes and made a funny face. She said the glue felt squishy. What if that gooey stuff gets stuck in there? I asked. It won't, Dr. Anna said. When the blue glue hardened, Dr. Anna gently pulled out the mold out of her ear. It looked like frosting on a cupcake. Bridget, did that hurt? I asked. She shook her head back and forth. I wonder if she understood what I said. Dr. Anna kneeled close to my sister and smiled. Bridget, what? Hearing aids can be any color in the rainbow. What color would you like? Bridget thought about it and pointed to her dress. Pink it will be, said Dr. Anna. I will order them today. The ride home from the doctor's office took forever. My sister fell asleep. I was so mad. Why hadn't she told me she couldn't hear me? I knew the listening game must be wrong. I knew I had to test her myself as soon as we got home. Bridget, come play with me, I said, walking back into my room. Can you make a block tower? Here, use these. Bridget ignored me. Here, blocks, make a tower, I said, pointing to the bucket of blocks. What? Bridget asked. Let me show you, I said, flipping the bucket upside down. She was so annoying. 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks. Bridget nodded and started to build her own tower. I slowly moved towards my toy chest and I had to find something to prove Dr. Anna and her test were wrong. I had to prove my sister could hear just fine and that she was just plain weird. Aha, I whispered. I turned around and I stood behind my sister and then rain, 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 rain. Bridget didn't move. She didn't look up. She didn't turn around. She didn't stop at all. She just kept building the block tower. A few weeks later, Bridget's hearing aids were ready. We all went to see Dr. Anna, the audiologist. Bridget wiggled in the chair, and Dr. Anna put on the new pink hearing aids in and around her ears. They fit perfectly. These are so pretty. How do you feel? Dr. Anna asked. My sister's eyes grew big and wide. I can hear you, she said. I hear you. We all laughed. Mom cried a little bit. Dr. Anna made some adjustments to the hearing aids, and then she said we could go home. Bridget was very excited. She ran down the hall, straight out the door, and she wanted to show everyone her new hearing aids. But then Bridget stopped. She looked around and she grabbed Dad's leg. What is that? Bridget asked as she covered her ears. What is what? We asked. The noise! Stop the noise! and Bridget began to cry. She grabbed her ears and started to pull out her hearing aids. I looked around at the moving cars and trucks and people. I didn't hear anything strange. I just heard everyday things. It's all right, Mom said. These sounds are new to you. Don't be afraid. She smiled and picked up my little sister, and we headed back into Dr. Anna's office. I thought I might see you back here, Dr. Anna said. Was it loud outside? Bridget nodded her head. She freaked out, I said. Bridget wiped tears from her eyes. Dr. Anna made a few more adjustments to the hearing aids. You are so brave. Keep wearing these every day. It will get easier. I'll see you very soon. The next day at school, I walked my sister down the hall to her classroom. She squeezed my hand until I squeezed it back, and I felt a tickle in my stomach as we turned the corner. I wonder if anyone would notice her ears. What would her friends say? Wow, what are those? Wyatt asked, pointing his finger. Hearing aids, Bridget replied. I can hear better now. Let me see. Her friends and the teachers gathered around, smiling. I love them, Olivia announced. They are pink and beautiful. My sister let go of my hand and smiled at me, and I smiled too. Things are a little bit different now. My sister wears her hearing aids every day, and she also waits for special helpers called therapists, and sometimes they ask me to help them. Bridget doesn't annoy me as much anymore. Actually, she's kind of funny. She won't stop talking and trying new words. She talks to our neighbors when they ring the doorbell. She runs to answer the phone. She still says silly things sometimes, and that's okay. But you'll never guess the new big word she learned yesterday. Oh, butterfly. And that's the end of the story. And so Bridget got her first pair of hearing aids just like mine. I wear white hearing aids instead of pink. And it helps me hear, and I remember that experience of wondering what my friends would think about when they saw my hearing aids. And so I love what Bridget's, her friends were so sweet and excited that she had these big pink hearing aids. And so that's something we need to be able to do when we see that someone has a difference, or maybe they have a unique ability, maybe even a disability. We can celebrate that because that's okay to be different. Mine were hearing aids, and yours may be something different. But I think we learned so much from Bridget's story of she just needed help with some hearing aids. And it's different, but that's what makes her really special. So thank you, friends. We'll see you next time.